Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, the last time we got together, a little controversy, because it was around contrary to popular belief. There is no outside world. We had a lot of problems with that. And we had some comments. So we're going to still look at that issue, but a little bit differently. Now, so this week, we're going to be talking about, are two heads better than one? Are two heads better than one? Now, I've changed the diagram quite a bit, so I'm going to go through it again so we can understand it a little clearer. First of all, we had one head over here in the last video. Oh, and I'll put a description up here. I think it goes up here. And now we got another head. But in between is energy. In between is energy. And that energy has within it, I'm having a little green tea that has fruit in it. In this case, strawberries. So there's a little strawberries in my green tea. Now, it's going to look chaotic. And that's okay, because outside of us, you may have heard the term quantum foam. Like in outer space, they say there is a quantum foam. It's not empty space. It's pretty full, but it's full of quantum foam. Now, between these two heads is energy fields interacting. And within those energy fields, and I'll blow it up a little bit like I did before, just so you can see my artwork. If you look real close, you'll see fixed patterns. Now, we had another video some time ago, and I'll reference it, and about patterns. All patterns have causes. And within the energy system that is around us, we have fixed patterns. Now, we'll talk about those a little bit later. So we're still using the standard model for the illusion. So again, we have your five senses coming into you, and with this other head that we added over here, 5 senses, 5 input information for each head. Now, I want you to kind of understand this. Now, they could be right next to each other, not across like that. So if they're right next to each other, holding hands, or have an arm around them real close, they're looking at the same energy system. Are they going to see, hear, touch, smell, or taste the same? They have the same input information, but the results will be different. So let's look at this and see how we create our inside world. So I'm going to start with this over here. And this person is taking in information from their senses. And according to the standard model, they are looking at that information through their past history or memories. They're looking at it through their memories. And from that, creating meaningful data. From the meaningful data, they're creating their world. In this case, I'm using the same creation of a tree. So this person looking into this outside energy system, taking in information, is created a tree. So they would say, oh, there's a tree out there. Now the tree is in here. Now, we'll look at it right now. This here, see this little finger? It kind of looks like the old Kilroy was here symbol, but it represents your conscious mind. See, your conscious mind sees what you have created and then tells you what your world is. And because of the belief system, you think the conscious mind is looking at the outside world. No, it's not. It's looking at your creation. Now the other head, that's why there's two heads, are going to do the same thing and create a tree in which their conscious mind, because of their past, will say, oh, we're both seeing a tree. You got this tree, I got a tree, we're looking at a tree. So there's a tree out here because of the input information from the senses. And as I said before, the two trees are different. But this person can't see your tree, and this person can't see this tree. So they have certain things in common, and they say, well, yeah, that's a tree. It's not the same tree. Again, why? Our history. Your tree is created the way it is because of your experiences from the past. Their tree is created the way it is because of their experiences from their past, and they're different. So, now, again, how do you bring them together? This has a lot to do with society, too. A lot to do with society. Communication. The more communication back and forth, the more you start developing the same belief system, and you will interpret your memories, from your memories, your world closer together. And when you become one, you'll see the same tree. Isn't that interesting? But until you become one, you're going to have a different tree. You're going to have a different world. Now you can look out into the world that we have already, and we don't communicate too well because everything is separate and everything is far from being one. Out here, just information. Just information. And it has certain fixed, they appear to be fixed objects. You can think of mountains. I'm lost a little bit for words, so I'm going to move into recognizing in a river that's flowing, and the river, make believe it's energy system. Whoosh, that water is flowing, and in some rivers you develop whirlpools or patterns within the energy. Now the energy is still flowing, and it goes right through the whirlpool, but the whirlpool remains. Now why does it remain? Why did it even come into being? Because of things around it. The bank location, how far away, how deep, how rough in the bottom, the temperature, all kinds of things go into having that whirlpool. And sometimes it comes and goes, and sometimes it stays for years till something happens. So you have patterns out here in this energy field. One of those patterns might be the pyramids. They've been there a long time. And they're a pattern within the energy system. And when we look out through our senses and see them, we develop a certain model on the inside based upon what we know about pyramids or mountains or rivers or anything that's been around for a long time. It all changes. Nothing stays the same in the illusion. So here again, what I want to point out is your conscious mind that is telling you what your world is looking to the inside. Your conscious mind is not looking to this information. Your subconscious mind is not looking to this information. It's only looking to your input data. Again, there's more information out here than your senses could possibly ever know completely or transmit. And so your world on the inside is never what the outside world is. And your world and this other person's world or anybody else's world is not going to be the same as yours. That's the way it is until you become one. So as you become one, the interesting thing, as you become one, the body disappears. The body becomes less of a stable pattern, and you begin to see what's behind it. And what is behind the body? What keeps the body going? Because when the body dies, see, when you leave the body, The body stays here in the illusion. That's an interesting thing to think about. We should spend more time on that. But outside, meaningless energy. I keep saying that. It's meaningless out here until you create on the inside your world. And we think these two worlds are the same. And they can never be the same. The outside energy can never be the inside world. But that's the egoic belief system, that what is outside is real and what is inside is make-believe. We got to turn that around. The inside is the meaningful part. The outside is nothing. Now, A Course in Miracles. I wanted to mention that before I go, because it's very short this time. Everything you perceive as an outside world is merely an attempt to maintain your ego identification. That's why it's called the egoic world, because it's ego-driven. Now here's a sad thing and difficult to understand. There is nothing in the illusion, nothing, that is not ego-driven. Even these videos that I make, to some degree, are ego-driven. Oh, we have much to talk about here in the illusion. Think about some things in your life that are ego-driven and try to move beyond them or behind them. When you get behind the illusion, you enter a complete different state of being. Be good to yourself, and we'll talk to you next time we get together here. See how I'm pointing? Here, in the illusion. Bye now.